Okay, so we'll connect to GitHub and we'll look at the data set. Okay, so if you go to this data set, right, there are three data set. Orders. No, orders is not what we're going to do now. We will do user device, user usage, and then you have Android devices somewhere. Yeah, we'll take these three examples and see. So here you have use ID, user ID, and here you have use ID. Okay, so use ID is common here. Okay, usage and this. So we can join these two tables together. Okay, we'll try to join these two tables here now. Okay, so let's do that. To read directly, okay, you click on raw. It'll open the raw version of this file. Generally evenings it doesn't work, but the mornings it work. I don't know why. Okay, so I would suggest that you download the files and connect from local machine itself. I think it should be that it's slow means it's not working. Okay, there's a problem. So download and work from your local machine itself. I think it's going to be a problem. Let's see. It doesn't take that much. If it takes that much time means there's a problem here. Okay. Okay, let it come up. Meanwhile, I'll switch to our PyCharm. Okay. You can download all those data set. Okay. And you can read, yes, it's not connecting from there. So we will read from locally. So locally, I have it in my D drive. Okay. Let me check my D drive. Data set, Git data set. I think this is what I call it. Yeah. Okay. And Android, you see here. User usage. Yes, I have it here. Okay. So, so we need to import pandas. So I'm going to say import pandas as PD. And if you want to read CSV file, you say pd.read CSV. Okay. And then you give the path name. Okay. So when you give path name, right, remember, you should give double slash. Okay. Double slash because it will ignore like slash and slash t kind of things, right? We discussed when we did Python, very first couple of classes, we would have discussed this. Or you can give it in other way. Okay, this is the way we generally give in Mac and Linux. You can use this way. This is also accepted. Okay, this slash, forward slash. Okay, and then, okay, you give the file name. In fact, PyCharm is intelligent enough, and when I do this, PyCharm should actually give you the list of files. Okay, we can type it. It is, why it's not giving? Okay, user device. Yeah, you see that? PyCharm will be able to read it, and you can see this is user device. So I'm going to give it a name here called user device data df. Okay, equal to this. And we'll read the other one also. Okay, and let's say this is your user usage. So we'll call it as usage. Okay. Now, since both are same, right? Let's remove the user word here. Okay, why to give big name? Okay, usage. So usage is your usage, and that is user device. Okay, now I'm going to delete it and put usage.csv. Okay. And to test it whether you have read it correctly or not, say run prog1 and you have no error would mean that it has read it successfully. Great. You want to see the output, you can say print device df. Okay, it'll show you the data here. So it will show you first 5 rows and last 5 rows, okay, by default. And if you have more than 5 columns, it will show you first 2 column and the last 2 column. If you had 5, it will show you all the 5, okay? Otherwise, it will show you only these. As we go along, we will be able to see this. Now you see here. So it has 272 rows and 6 columns. Okay. So let me put it here. 272 rows. This is for device, right? Device, correct. And you can do same thing for user usage. So you get 240 rows and 4 columns. So 4 columns only, right? So you can see all the columns here. Okay. And first 5 and the last 5, bottom 5. This is what your print will give it to you. Okay. So this is 240 rows. Okay, good. Now, if you want to see only first 5 rows, you say head. If you want to see last 5, you say tail. Okay. If you want to see 6, you will say 6 rows here. Okay. So when you put 6, that means you want first 6 rows. By default, it will give you, if you just put head without any values to it, it will show you first 5. Okay. Okay. Now we are trying to now merge them. Okay. We have discussed this. Okay. I remember we discussed this when we did SQL. What is inner and outer, right? Same concept applies here. So let me go to Paint for a second. Let me use a concept of set to explain. So let's say your data set 1, okay, has 240 rows. Okay, 240 rows. And you have data set 2, which has, let's say, 300 rows, let's say. When you merge them, how many rows do you expect?
240 plus 300.
240 plus 300.
Sorry, what did you say?
Correct.
240 rows we have.
I asked, okay, if you merge these two data sets, how many rows do you expect?
Of course, 240 plus 300.
240 plus 300. Okay. Let me take an Excel here. Just give me a second. I'm going to open an Excel file. We discussed this. You don't remember. So you have table 1. Okay. And table 1, let's say use ID is there, right? So use ID and there are different columns. Okay. So you have column A, B, and C. Okay. And here you will have table 2. Use ID is common. Okay. And you have X, Y, and Z. So when you merge them, okay, table T1 plus T2, when you merge them, let's say we call it as table T. So use ID will be there.
Yes.
Okay. And it will have A, B, C, X, Y.
Y, Z.
Okay. Now this is correct. When you are merging, okay, the columns will get added up. Okay. So only one. So here you have 4 plus 4. Since 1 is common, you get, instead of 8, you get 7.
7. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when you talk about rows, okay, let's see an example. Use ID can be 1357. Okay. Now let's say it has some value. 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Let's say all values are 1.
So they didn't count the common one.
Okay. And here, okay, you have 2, 3, 4, 5. And here have all values like 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay. Now, if you merge them together, how many rows do you get?
Was 3, 4, 2.
It is definitely not
5,
I
7,
guess
4 plus 4.
5.
6, I guess.
Yes. So it depends upon
5,
type
5.
of merge. Okay. If you perform what is called as inner merge, and this is the default merge. Okay. When you don't mention, this is what you will get. We call it as inner merge. Okay. Inner merge, you only take the common element. Okay.
Yes.
So you have
1, 2,
1
3,
and 2 is not 3, 5.
5,
That's all.
7. 4 and 7.
No, only 3 and 5.
Like whatever is common only
Inner
that
merge is common, yes. So A you will get 1, 1, 1. So 1, 1, 1, sorry.
Mm,
1,
2,
1, 1, 1. Okay. 2, 2, 2,
2, 2.
2, 2. This is called inner merge, and this is default merge. Okay. So the number of rows will be lower than the lowest value. At max, it will be equal to the lower values. That means, okay, let's say this has all the columns here. So that will be the number of rows. So generally you will have rows less than the lower of these two. This is your inner merge. Okay. Then you have something called as outer merge. Outer merge, and again, that's what I'm saying. We did this, you forgot. Same concept applies in SQL also. Pandas is actually a form of SQL, okay? The SQL queries that you run in SQL, you can execute in Pandas. Okay. Outer merge. Outer merge is about all the unique IDs. So 1357. And then you have 2,
2, 4.
2 and
4.
4. Okay. And this
Okay,
is going to
understood.
be all 1, 1, 1,
1, 1,
1.
1. 3.
ABC 1, 1. Okay. Here 2 and 4 is going to be 2, 2.
Yes. And 2 and 2.
Okay. Now you see,
And
1 is not there, 2 is here. So for 2, you got it. Okay. 3 is
3
here.
common.
You will have 2,
2,
2,
2.
2. Okay. 4 is not 4 has been
Different.
done.
5 would
5.
be common.
So you will have again
2, 2,
2,
2.
2, 2, 2. Now here 2 is here. 2 is not here. Okay. So these are the values that you will get. All these values will be null, null, blank. So blank
Null
values are treated as null. Okay. So you get null, null, and null. Okay. So this is your outer merge and this is your inner merge. Now you have something called as left outer and left inner. Okay. Left outer. Now this, when you put T1 first and T2 next, you can put T2 before T1 next. The way you will combine them. So I want to have put T1 before. So T1 is your left merge. Okay. In the left, what we do is we put 1, 3, 5 only. Okay. This one only. And you get this value. Outer, okay, sorry, this is not outer, this is left outer or left merge. Left outer, you can say. So left merge will only take the left. Okay, what is there on the left
T1
side?
values.
Okay, so you'll have 1, 3, 5, 7. The common will have values. What is not common will have null. You can say right merge. When
Then all the right side values.
yes.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. And what is common? 3 and 5 are common.
5.
So you get 3 and 5
3
values.
and 5 values.
Oh, no, not here. Sorry. What did I do? This should go here.
No.
Okay. And this will be for 5
3
and
and 3.
and all the other things will be null. Okay. So 4 types of merge is possible. Inner merge, outer merge. Let's say if this has 200 rows. and if this has 300 rows, okay, inner will have, okay, anywhere, okay, between 0 to 200. If there are no common values here, if there are no common, you'll have 0 rows. So it will range from 0 to 200. Maximum 200 because all these 200 is also here. So you'll get 200. None of them are common. You get 0. So inner merge will give you anything between 0 number of rows to maximum, which is equal to the minimum of this value between 200 and 300. If you perform outer merge, okay, outer merge, let's say this minimum 300 will be there. If all these 200 are here, then you get 300. So it will be minimum 300, maximum 500. If none of them are common, you get these 200 plus these 300, 500. Okay, maximum you get 500, minimum you get is maximum of this 300. Because all these will be anyway there. If these are all common, if all these values are there here, then you get 300. If none of them are common, you get 500. Your left will give you exact 200, no more, no less. Right will give you exact 300, no more, no less. Okay? So this is how you end up getting the number of rows when you merge them. Okay? This is how merge happens. All right? So let's see how
Yes.
merge happens in your Pandas, Python. Okay? So now I'm saying, let's say, we'll say usage device, right? User device, usage device. So we'll say usage device. Okay, that's like combined data frame. Okay, equal to pd dot merge. And now I have to give the column names. I'm saying, okay, usage df comma device df. Now, which is left, which is right in this case?
Usage DF is left, sir.
Usage df is left, yes.
Left, yeah.
And
Device
device
df is
df
right.
is right. So if I perform inner merge here, then I will get all the so
Common
left
values.
device. If I do usage is this one, so I'll get 240 rows. If I do right merge here, I'll get 272 rows. Inner will be less than 240. Outer will be
Yes.
more than 272.
272 because they
More
are
than
going also.
yes. Okay. So next step. Which is the common column on? Okay. On. We're talking about the column which is common. So I'll say use ID. Use
Yes.
ID is common, isn't it?
Yes.
So on this. Now, if I print user usage device, you can see the output. Okay. See 9 columns. Why? 6 plus 4, 10 minus 1. Use ID is common in both. Use ID is common in both. So you get 9 columns. And it has performed inner merge. 159 rows. That means 159 rows are common between these two data frame. Okay. That's like last time we got only 2 rows, right? Here we got only 159 because those rows are only common between these two. Okay. So that is inner is default. Okay. If you do not want to perform inner merge. Okay. So let's say I put here. Okay. Inner slash n. Now I want to have left. So you have one more parameter called as how. How left. Okay, now you see. This is left. Okay. So see, I told you which is on the left. Usage is on the left. So you get exactly 240 rows. What is
Yes.
159 is common. So 159 will have all the values. Rest 80, 81, whatever, 79, whatever, I don't know. 240 minus 159. Okay. So 60, 81. 81 rows will have null values. See here, these are all null values here. You see that? Okay. So 81 values will have null values because they don't have this right side values, isn't it? So it's all null, 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 null. If you want to make it right, you will simply say right here. Right will give you how many rows? $272 rows. Right? And see, this side now values are all null. Left side values are null. And if you want to perform full, we say full. So I'm going to put it here and you say full. Full outer. No, it's not full, sorry. Is it? Let's see. It is outer, I think. Okay, yes, I think it's outer. Okay, so see, it will be more than 272 for sure. Maximum it can take is 272 plus 240, which is like 540 or something, right? But 153 are common. So when you know how many are common, 159 are common, you can easily calculate these rows. Okay, so you have 272 and 240. 240 or 242? 240. And out of them, 159 is common. So you have 159 which is common plus how many are left here? 272 minus 159? Come on, guys, you're all math student. What is 272 minus 159?
It's 113.
Correct?
Okay.
Yes. And now 259 minus 240 minus 159?
It's 81. 81.
81, sir.
81. And if you add these together, what do you get? So this is 159 plus 113 is 272. So 72
Three
plus
five
81.
353.
3, sorry, 3, 3, 5.
353.
This is what you get, 353. Right? So this is how you can join. Okay. So you have left, right, outer, and inner. Inner you can say, or you don't say anything. Okay. So if you don't say anything, it becomes inner only. Okay.
So, but like this thing we have to do manually.
What manually?
This rows and columns
Array,
calculations.
I just showed you. See, it's showing here, no?
Okay.
Okay. If you want to see the value directly, you have something called as shape. I think we did this. No?
No.
Will give you the number, rows, and column. Okay. So see,
Okay.
it will return you a tuple value. Tuple value will have first
Hmm.
value as rows and second value as column. So
E.
if you
Yeah.
want to find number of rows, so you can say number of rows in combined Is it correct spelling? So shape of 0, right? It's a tuple. So shape of 0 will give you rows, and columns will be 1. When you run it, you get this. Okay. So this is how you can read number of rows and number of columns. All right. Okay. So for next few minutes, let's do an exercise. And even if you're not able to complete it, when we meet in the next class, we'll continue. Okay. So let's go back to my data set. I'm taking you back to the GitHub location. And here you have a table called as hotel booking or something. Hmm. Yeah, hotel bookings.csv. So, okay. Yeah, data is too big. That's why it's not able to show. It has, I think, few lakhs of rows. Okay. So no worries. A raw file is anyway not accessible right now. So you won't be able to see it. I'll show you on my machine. Okay. Hold on. Hotel bookings. H. It's opening. Okay. Just give me a second. Yeah. Okay. So this is a hotel book. So this is data from a hotel company. Okay. And you see how many values are there? 1,19,390 rows. 1,19,000. And these are the columns. Okay. So you have ID, hotel, is cancelled, lead time. Is cancelled means you'll have 0 or 1. 0 means no, it's not cancelled. 1 means it was cancelled. So you book and then you cancel, right? So that is cancellation. Lead time is how many days before arrival. Okay. So some bookings you see that 2 years, then 2 years before. It could be outlier, I mean error data, it could be an error, or it could be correct also. Generally, nobody will book in 2 years in advance, right? But maybe you got a discount saying that if you book it in after 2 years, you get it as 10% or something, right? Maybe some people might book it in advance. Okay. So then you have lead time, arrival, date of month of arrival. Okay, date of arrival. So this customer arrived on 27th July 2015. Okay, arrival date of the month, days in weekend nights. So that means this fellow stayed on weekday, 1 day and weekday, and none of the days on weekend. So maybe it was a probably business travel, arrived on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. Number of days weekends will be maximum 2. Okay, Saturday and Sunday. Okay, 4 maybe, next weekend. 2 plus 2. Okay, so this is what it says. Number of children, number of adults, number of babies. Okay, meal. Then you have country, from which country the person arrived. Okay, you have market segment. So market segment means how did they got customer? Was it from direct? So if you book on the hotel website, it's direct. Okay, if you have a corporate tie-up, so it'll be corporate. Online TA is online, the third party. So if you book through Make My Trip, okay, so it'll be so the tracking as online TA, some third party. Okay, distribution channel is repeated customer, coming first time or or this more than once if they come before. Previous cancellation if they have any. Okay, previous booking not cancelled. Okay, is it reserved room type? Okay. So some rooms may be reserved rooms for them. Assigned room type, reserved was C, assigned C. Here you see reserved A, but assigned C. So it is different, right? So these are some of the information that hotel fellow is tracking. Okay. We'll try to perform some of the learnings that we have done, some visualization that we have learned on this data set. Okay. So I'm going to close it for now. Okay. And I'm going to read it in our case here. So I'm going to go here. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so I'll say hotels, and I'm going to say here, no, path is same, just the file name is different. Okay, hotel bookings, yes. So you want to see how many rows and column, we will say here, print hotels df dot shape. Okay, so see, you have 1,19,390 rows and 33 columns we have. Okay. What are the different data types? Okay. If you want to know the different data types, we can say here, D types. Okay. Data types is D types. Okay. So it tells you each column and what kind of value they have. Okay. So ID column has integer value. Okay. Hotel is object. Is cancel is float. Lead time is float, int. And if you think the date is not, type is not correct, generally, if you have to work on some numeric data, numeric column, and you see that it is not numeric, it shows as object. Object means it could be your string, right? Mostly it could be string, right? So then you have to convert it into integer, and we'll see that, how to do that. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll separate columns which has numeric versus your non-numeric. Okay, like meal, country, they're all non-numeric, right? Text column. So let's separate them, because the way you will operate later, it will be helpful. Okay, later it will be helpful. We'll see that. Okay, or maybe you can do it later, not a problem. Okay, we can do it later. Okay, right now it's not required. We'll do it later. So first step in data analytics, we are getting into data analytics now, right? So you tell me what are different steps that you'll perform in data analytics.
Collecting data.
Collecting data analytics steps. Okay, so collecting data, yes. So what we just did is collecting data. We have collected the data, right? Now it could be from whatever source, but we got the data into the format that we need. Okay, then next step.
Removing the null data.
Then we can clean the
Cleaning the
data, like filterize it.
Yes. Okay. So next step is data cleaning. Cleaning means you are making it ready for the analysis later. Okay. Now in data cleaning, there are multiple steps. Okay. So data cleaning can be that, there's some missing data. Okay. The first thing that you talk about is the missing data, right? Because if you have missing data, then you can't operate. If number is missing, you cannot plot a graph. So you need to handle missing data. Okay, this is default, the first step. Next, what did you say, Aviram? You said something. I forgot. I remembered few seconds back. Huh?
Null values.
Null values. Yeah, that is missing data. right? Okay. Handling null values is missing data. So remove null values. Yes. Then we do outliers. Sometimes we want to remove outliers. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't want to. So the way you handle outliers typically is different in Python. In analytics versus machine learning. Okay. Now you see, because when you perform machine learning, you are doing one extra step. We perform till this point, and then we perform one extra step. What is that extra step? Extra step is that you are passing those values to an algorithm, right? And you cannot say to the algorithm, oh, ignore these values, don't ignore these values. Whatever you pass, entire thing will be taken into analysis. So here, since we are doing visualization, I can present it. I can say all the missing values as minus 999. And I'll show you, oh, ignore those minus 999. Minus 999 are, missing values. Oh, ignore those outliers. Those are outliers. I can say that in analytics. Okay, when you see a graph, I can say, oh, ignore that last bar graph. Those are missing values.
Sir?
But when you pass it to the machine learning, you cannot say to algorithm, okay, ignore those rows. There is no way to tell them. So the way you will handle machine learning is different, and we'll do that when we go there. Yes, tell me.
Sir, we'll get outliers in the graph only, sir. Data we can't see the outliers.
I'm not able to hear you properly. Can you come closer to mic?
Like with by seeing the data set, we can't get the outliers, no, sir.
Box
By
plot,
visual,
yeah?
yeah, by using the graph only, we can see the outliers, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is also one type of visualization on this.
Analytics is visualization only.
Yeah.
Analytics means what? You want to convey a message, okay? Conveying message is through visualization. So whatever we have done, okay, like scatter plot, bar graph, all those things, we'll do now. So, okay, and we will analyze the data, okay, how the data is, okay. So yes, it's a visualization. There is a technique also, okay. Now, if you remember the statistics, what was the rule that we discussed? Remember the 3 rule? 68, 95. 68, 95, and 99, 99.4 or 99.6 something, right? So what statistics say is, okay, if the values are within 3 sigma, sigma 1 is 68%, sigma 2 is 95%, sigma 3 is 99%, right? If values are within 3 sigma, okay, you consider for analysis. If value is outside 3 sigma, generally we treat it as outliers. So you can use that rule to find out the standard deviation of each row. And the standard deviation row is more than +3 or -3. -3 on the left side, +3 on the right side. We say we ignore. So we take only values between -3 and +3. We ignore values which are more than -3 and values which are more than +3. Less than -3 and more than +3. We ignore them, assuming that they are outliers. That's another way. Okay. Manually, if you want to consider outliers through calculation, okay, when I say manually, it is through calculation. This is the formula that we use. We generally assume that values which are more than -3 and +3 are outliers. Okay. So yes, of course, you can see outlier in scatter plot, you can see outliers in the box plot, but you can use this concept to remove the outliers as well. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's handle one by one, and then we'll come back, because if you do not perform data cleaning, you cannot do anything with the data. So this is
Yeah.
must. Okay. So whenever you touch any data, you have to perform cleaning. Then we will look at how to analyze it, the next step. Okay. So now I'm going to look at the missing data. Okay. So I'm going to plot a bar graph to see which data are missing and which are not missing. Okay. We look at heat map. Now, heat map can be binary data, yes or no, or heat map can be a continuous data. So, okay. So, let me give you some examples of heat map. Okay, so these are your heat map. So let's say we'll take a simple one first. Okay, what this says is you are dividing data set into 5 parts. Okay, very low
Okay.
value, low, medium, high, and very high. So you have only 5 data. So very low is represented as yellow, low is represented as orange, and high, okay, medium, high, and very high are represented as red. So okay, so now if you see this graph here, it shows you that whatever measuring, okay, so this is talking about temperature. Okay, so these red are your high temperature
High
area.
temperature.
Correct. Yellow ones are the mid, and green ones are the low temperature, the cooler one areas. So advantage of heat map is by one look, how the data is behaving. Oh, this part is very hot. This part of US is very hot. This part of US is cool. This part of US has average or medium temperature. Okay. So heat map gives you the spread. Okay, you can see the spread here, same. Very high, medium, and very cool. Green ones are cool. Yellow ones are medium. Okay. So I'm also going to create a heat map. Okay, now here you see, this is wafer map demonstration. So here you see there is a shade, blue to red. Blue is 0 and 100 is 100%. So you can see, and this, okay, this is not just two color or 3 color or 4 color or 5 color. This is multicolor.
Yes.
Based on the shade, you can see if it is bluish shade, that means it is more than, or the blue, again, dark and light blue, right?
Yeah,
So
it
dark
lies
blue is very
between
low.
them, like, yeah.
Correct. So 3 shades or 4 shades of dark blue, 1 light blue. So below 50 is your blue shade. So when you see, here blue, that means it is less than 50%. Okay. Darker the blue, lower the value. Lighter the blue, okay, closer
Lower
to
the value.
50%. But as you go from 50%, 60%, you get greenish color. Then greenish becomes yellowish. Yellowish becomes orangish. Then red. Red, you see, it is like 90 to 100%, whatever value, okay? So these boxes, red boxes are 90 to 100%. Orange boxes are about 80 to 90% contribution. That's a contribution for something to the country. So these are, let's say, state, and you see the color here. Greenish, so about 50 to 60. Bluish, about 40 to 50, right? So with one single shot, we are able to analyze the entire data. Okay, that's the beauty of heat map. So in our case, we will have only 2 colors. Okay, we'll have, and I'll show you how to give colors. We can have colors for zeros, and we can have colors for 1.
One.
Okay, let's go back to our program here. So I'm going to plot heat map. Heat map to check missing values. And then we will see manually, programmatically how to find missing values. That's what we'll also do. First, let's visualize the data. Okay, so I'm going to use Seaborn. Okay, so I'm going to say import matplotlib.pyplot as plt, import Seaborn as SNS. Okay. Yeah, so these two are basic, and let's see if we need anything else, we will add it. So okay, now to plot the graph, okay, we will take only 30 rows. Okay, we will not take 33 rows, we'll take only 30 rows to plot. Okay, that's what you can get it on one screen. Okay, so I'm going to create a new df. Okay, I'll just say df. Okay, and this will be your okay, so instead of creating those df, let me say 30 columns. Okay, I'll use 30 columns only. Okay, this is to get just the column names. Okay, so I say 30 here, and hotel df, okay, dot columns. Okay, and I'll say from 0 to 29. That's how I get 30 columns. Now, if you print this, okay, these are your first 30 columns, right? We have 33, right? So except 3, all the other columns will be given here. Okay, so these are your columns: ID, hotel, is cancelled, lead time, arrival date, year, arrival date, month, etc. Okay, we'll plot a heat map on this. So these are the columns. So I'm going to create heat map. So I'm going to say CNS, that is your Seaborn dot heat map. This is going to give me heat map, Seaborn dot heat map. First parameter that it needs is the data set. First parameter that it needs is data set. So I'm going to say, okay, hotels DF, then coals 30, okay, and this is the data set. Okay, now what I'll do, I'm going to put a heat map on the null. So I'll say is null. So is null will either give me true or false. If it is null, true. If it is false, false. Okay, and color, which color you want to give? So this is going to return with 2 values, true and false only. Okay, so when I create a C map is your color map. So I need to give only 2 colors. Okay. Okay. Now
Yeah.
you need a color palette, and in the palette I'll just give 2 colors. Okay. So you have SNS dot color palette. SNS has color palette, and here we will give the column colors. We just need 2 colors. Like we are using, see, if you have 3 values and if you give 2 colors, it will give you error. Okay, this is going to give me just 2 values, right? True or false. So I'll give 2 colors here. For true, which color you want, and for false, which color you want. True means blank value. Which color do you want to give for blank value? Tell me.
Red.
Red. And which color you want to give for not blank?
Green.
Green. Okay. So let's go back here. It needs hexadecimal color. So we need to find hexadecimal color for red and green. So go to Google and say hexadecimal color code. Okay. Color codes. Okay. And you can say red here. Okay. So see, this is the color. Okay. And this is the hexadecimal code. FF0000. See, colors are made up of 3 primary colors. Okay, what are those colors?
Green.
Red, green, and blue. RGB. Okay, so first 2 parameters are reserved for red, next 2 are reserved for green, and next reserved for blue. All the colors in the world is a combination of these 3 colors. Right? So values will range from 00, which is like missing color, to FF. FF is maximum value 255. FF is 255. Okay, 255. So there are, red has shades of 0 to 255. Green have shades of 0 to 255. Blue have shades of 0 to 255. So how many combinations are possible using program, using computer? Manually, it is very difficult to differentiate with different shades. With computer can differentiate 255 into 255 into 255. So many color sets. Okay. So if you want to perform calculations, okay, 255 into 255 into 255. Okay. So many color shades are possible. 0, 0, 0, 0, all 3 absent. When all 3 colors are absent, what color do you get?
0.
When all colors are absent.
Then white. Like no color.
No color is what? No color is not white. No color is black.
Black.
Okay. Okay. So 0, 0, 0, 0 is black.
Black.
Okay. White is all three colors. FFFF. Red is also there. Full red plus full green plus full blue is white. So colors will vary from 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 to FFFFF. Okay. If you want more of red, you'll have a higher value on left side. More of green, this will be higher value.
Between.
Blue, these two will be higher.
Okay.
So you can also say number of colors is so 0 to F. Okay. So how many digits? 16 digits. So 16 into 16 into 16 into 16. You know, those many shades are possible. That's where these days, you know, these Asian paints and all those, they use computer to mix the color. So you can generate any color of your choice. Okay. They use, okay, because computer can handle those colors. Okay. So if you want all red, it is FF000. Okay. So let's go back to our program and let's put this. Okay. We'll do this and we will wrap it up. Okay. So you go here and you put red. And next you said green, right? RGB.
Yeah.
So here you give 0, 0. And here you delete this. So now you are giving FF, full color to the green. This is the greenest color possible. You can't have any color greener than this. This is the maximum green you can have. Okay. Now you say plt.show. Okay. Are you not seeing my yeah. Okay. Yes, I need to. Okay. So one mistake I made here. You see, when you say is null is true, correct? So true means 1. Yes or no? And false
Yes.
means 0.
0.
So 0 is false. So this is a 0th value. If you want green for 1, you will put this one here and the red here. This is a 0th value. So 0
Yes.
and 0 will match. And 1 will match. Okay. So 1 means null. Null means you want red. Correct? Correct?
Yeah.
So you give here red this side. Okay. Now let's run this and see. Can you see the graph?
Yeah.
This is your heat map graph. And you see all these green, these rows does not have any missing values. You see, these are missing values here. Okay. So we'll stop here and we'll continue from here tomorrow, same time. Okay.
Yeah. Tomorrow we have class on Sunday.